I am here with Jessica Brummer. She is the Director of Communications with the Durham Museum. Jessica, thank you for joining me.
Thank you for having me.
So we're getting into the holiday season, which is a big time at the Durham Museum.
Yes, it's our biggest time of year.
I know, and it's really like the most magical time of year.
I always tell people, if you're finding it hard to get into the holiday spirit, a visit to the Durham Museum will turn that upside down.
It will get you there.
Yeah.
So let's just talk, before we go into kind of the holiday activities, well, let's talk about the two exhibits on display right now.
Yeah, so we kind of have a unique situation where we have two temporary exhibitions right now. The first one is called Louder Than Words, Rock, Power, and Politics.
Okay.
And it is on loan from the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. So it looks at our country's history through the lens of rock music.
Okay.
So there's artifacts from over 60 different artists featured in the show, everything from instruments to stage costumes. And it really looks at some important things that have happened in world and American history, but all about how music has impacted those or reacted to those. So it's a very cool exhibit. We just opened it up, so a great time to come down and see it.
And when does it run through?
That one is open until February 2nd.
Wow, okay, so it's there for a while.
Yeah.
I need to make sure I get down.
Yes, it's very cool. And like I said, the benefit right now is we have two, so they run kind of coinciding. The second one is called Race, Are We So Different?
Okay.
And this exhibit is open through January 5th, but it is all about, it was kind of the museum's way of commemorating the Red Summer of 1919 and the lynching of Will Brown that happened here in Omaha. But this exhibit is really all about creating a community dialogue around the issues of race and racism, the history of those, but also kind of the modern day impact. And it's been really great so far. We've seen some wonderful conversations come out of it, and that was really our hope for that exhibit. So right now, if you come down to the museum, you get to see both of those exhibits.
Yeah, wonderful. So let's, it's November and we're getting into the holiday season at the Durham. Like we said, it's very magical.
Yeah.
So just walk us through kind of what the happenings.
So for those that have maybe never been before, we celebrate Christmas at Union Station, and that is a tradition that dates back to the early 1930s. So when our home, Union Station, was a train museum, Union Pacific would bring a tree in from the Pacific Northwest by train, all the way from the coast, and put it in the middle of the station, decorate it, and have a series of community events around that. We continue that tradition today. So we harvest the tree locally. So we had, this year we had about 50 people that contacted us and said, we have a tree that we'd like you to consider. And we go out and we look at them all, and we have our tree picked, and in just a few short weeks here, we'll be working with a crew of Union Pacific, Terry Hughes Tree Service. All of these vendors come together to help us harvest our tree and bring it down, and that's really the centerpiece of our celebration. We do our tree lighting ceremonies, kind of our first big official event, the day after Thanksgiving. That kind of kicks it all off. Yeah. And then there's a whole host of family events, concerts, different things going on throughout the month of December.
Let's talk about who decorates the tree, because I mean, I've been there, and I mean, it's a huge tree, and the ornaments are the ornaments, like, do you use the same ornaments every year?
We do. We usually add to it every year, and these are not your typical buy them at Target ornaments. These things are like the size of beach balls. They're huge. The tree is typically around 45 to 50 feet tall. Yes. And so our ceilings in the Great Hall are 60 feet, so it is a massive tree. But we have a team from Mangelson's. They have helped us for over 20 years coming in, and they donate their time for a whole week and decorate the tree and make it look magical. And it's a ton of work, but like I said, it's a lot of fun. You smell that fresh pine in the museum, and you see that beautiful tree, and you're instantly in the holiday spirit.
So, like you said, the tree lighting ceremony is the day after Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
What time do activities kind of start that day?
Yeah, so that event is from 4 to 8, and we light the tree around 7 o'clock. But leading up to that, we have cookie decorating, we have live music, we have a scavenger hunt around the museum. Santa, of course,
I was going to say Santa.
Makes his first appearance of the season. And then, we lead all that up to about 7 o'clock. We turn off the lights, we do a countdown, and then we flip the switch, and the lights are on, and then they remain on for the rest of the season.
I mean, I've been there many times for that tree lighting, that kickoff.
It's a tradition for a lot of people.
It's amazing. So let's talk about like memberships, or what does it, if you're a member, what does that mean? If you're not a member, what does that mean?
Yeah, so our memberships are really affordable. It's $60 a month for a family membership. So when you divide that over 12 months, it's about $5 a month.
You mean it's $60 for the year?
For the year, yes.
Okay, all right.
Yes, and so it gets 2 adults and their dependent children or grandchildren into the museum. It's 12 months of free admission to all of our exhibits, all of our events. So it's totally worth it. Now's a great time because you could gift it to someone for Christmas, or get yourself one. But it's a great contribution to the museum, but you get to enjoy everything we do all year for free.
Which you do so many amazing things. So give us a website where people can go find out more information.
Yep, so it's durhammuseum.org.
All right. Well, I'm looking forward to the holiday season coming up because, again, it is a tradition for so many people. It truly is magical down there.
Yeah,
so,
thank you. We look forward to seeing you there.
Thank you for coming on the show.
Thanks for having me.
And we will be right back.